Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Hello, beautiful ghouls. Welcome. This is Brandy. I'm here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So I posted, I think it was last week, I talked about the mystery animal that they found in Florida.
Yes.
And or maybe it was the week before, I don't remember. But so I was like, oh yeah, I said I was going to post pictures of this animal because it was totally cute on the Facebook page. And I looked up the story and I posted it, and then I actually read it, and the thing died.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
That's so sad. So
they tried, though.
Yeah.
They tried to.
I really wonder what it was.
It was a hairless raccoon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. It had some kind of disease, like alopecia or something.
Aww.
So it was hairless, but it was a raccoon.
Oh. Well, that's no fun.
Well,
anyway. I was hoping it was going to be like chupacabra. Alexa wants to join the conversation, and she just turned on the TV.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Alexa, turn TV off.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway. That was weird. So, I have a few facts. They're just kind of random. Okay. So, fun facts. The word gorilla is derived from a Greek word meaning a tribe of hairy women.
Why does it have to be women?
I don't know. That's not cool. Okay, second one. Prisoners in Canadian war camps during World War II were treated so well that a lot of them didn't want to leave when the war was over.
That don't usually happen.
No. Another gorilla one. Gorillas burp when they are happy. That's weird.
Okay.
In New York, it is illegal to sell a haunted house without telling the buyer.
Ah.
That is actually excellent advice.
I think at some point, every state is going to have to do that.
I think so, too. And I think it should be a thing now.
Well, yeah, it should. But people are still kind of weirded out about.
Isn't it if you ask, they have to tell you?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, just ask, no matter what. In 2006, someone tried to sell New Zealand on eBay. The price got up to $3,000 before eBay shut it down. Well, that's not nice. Can't sell an island that you don't own. What the hell?
They almost got some money.
What do you think they would have done if it would have sold? They'd be like, okay.
They would have ghosted.
Here you go. It's yours now. Congratulations.
They would have got a pin in the mail that said New Zealand.
For what? I wonder how much they would have paid for that. I wonder who fucking bid on that. What morons. Yeah, I want to buy New Zealand for $100. I bet that's what they started.
There are such stupid people out there that they believe anything.
No. That's insane. Just like that lady on that Facebook post that I posted there was that video of that lady trying to pump gas.
Oh. I was watching that and I'm like, what the fuck is she doing?
She pulled up to that thing at least like 5 times. And she kept
doing the exact same thing over and over and over again.
What the hell? Guys, look at the Facebook page and you'll see what we're talking about.
You know what that means, right?
What?
That's the definition of crazy.
Oh, you're doing the same thing, expecting different results? Do you think that's what she was doing though, or was she just stupid? I mean, come on.
She was just stupid. I don't know.
Oh,
you're sitting there and you're watching it. Like, surely someone can't be that dumb.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
But why would she do it?
I don't know. I don't know. I will never understand. Anyway, next one. It is considered good luck in Japan when a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry.
Oh.
Next one, a man from Britain changed his name to Tim Price, but with 10 P's, to make it harder for telemarketers to pronounce. So it's Price.
They should have just changed it to my last name. Nobody can pronounce my last name.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I get Hubber a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Okay, next one. A woman from California once tried to sue the makers of Captain Crunch because Crunch berries contained no berries of any kind.
Oh my gosh.
She wanted some easy money.
Yeah.
Apple launched a clothing line in 1986, and it was described as a train wreck by others. They showed them, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did. I think every single person in the world's got something that's Apple.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, next one. In Japan, crooked teeth are considered cute and attractive. That's, I think, sometimes. I mean, it depends. Yeah, it depends on the person. But yeah, it can be totally cute.
How crooked?
Yeah, there's a fine line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a not perfect smile can be totally cute.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
A Swedish woman lost her wedding ring and found it 16 years later growing on a carrot in her garden.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
I think I've seen pictures of that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and that wasn't that long ago.
I mean, it sucks that she lost it, but it's cool how she found it.
I'll try and look that up and post it online. Donald Duck comics were banned from Finland because he doesn't wear pants.
Oh my god.
But he wraps
a duck.
But he wraps a towel around his waist when he gets out of the bathtub.
What is wrong with people? It's a cartoon.
Seriously.
And it's a duck.
I know.
Ducks don't wear pants.
It was smooth.
We don't need to get into
Oh, okay. Okay, moving on. The chance of you dying on the way to get lottery tickets is actually greater than your chance of winning.
Aww.
Oh, that's depressing.
That is depressing.
And that was under funny facts. That doesn't really make sense. Cherophobia is the fear of fun.
That would suck.
That would suck.
The fear of fun?
What is that? I mean, that's... What the hell? That doesn't... I mean, like, how would you, like, look at something and be like, oh my god, that seems fun! And, like, run away?
Have a panic attack? I can't have fun. I can't have fun.
What is happening? That's so horrible. Oh my god. But how do you I mean, like, is it just like to each his own? Like, what constitutes fun to, you know what I mean? What's fun to me is not fun to you.
No, but there's always the things that are fun. Usually, I mean, so like, for the most part, everyone.
So you're supposed to be having fun, and you're just like scared.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
If anyone has cherophobia, please write in. I want to know.
We want to understand.
GhoulsNightOutPodcast@gmail.com. The toothpaste Colgate in Spanish translate to "go hang yourself." What? With your white teeth.
Smile while you're doing it.
Pirates wore earrings because they believed it improved their eyesight. What? What does that have to do with anything? Oh my gosh.
I don't even have anything for that.
These are unbelievable facts.
Okay.
Human thigh bones are stronger than concrete.
Wow.
That's great. I can totally imagine. Like, that seems right to me. Aren't they supposed to be like the strongest?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah. Cockroaches can live for several weeks with their heads cut off because their brains are located inside their body. They would eventually die from being unable to eat.
Wow. I did not know that.
That is creepy. Where is it?
It'd be like if our brains were in our stomach or something.
Maybe it's like every man and it's in their cock. Maybe that's why they're called cockroaches. Is that too stupid? Should I cut that out?
No, you shouldn't.
Okay. Scientists have tracked butterflies that travel over 3,000 miles.
Dang.
That is awesome. I want to be a butterfly.
You might one of these days.
Maybe. To produce a single pound of honey, a single bee would have to visit 2 million flowers.
Oh, that sounds like hard work.
Yeah. Okay, the population is expected to rise to 10.8 billion by the year 2080. That is crazy. You breathe on average about 8,409,600 times a year. That's crazy. More than 60,000 people are flying over the United States in an airplane right now. 60,000 people.
Well, I believe it.
I do too. Hamsters run up to 8 miles at night on a wheel. 8 miles. That was one of the, I think it was the parent, it was another thing that I posted on Facebook. Excuses that parents have given teachers or something like that. And I think one of them was they held a funeral for their hamster. So they missed school.
I stopped reading those after a while.
I got so fucking mad. After a few of them, it was just, oh my God, it is insane. That's why I fucking hate everyone. Okay. A waterfall in Hawaii goes up sometimes instead of down.
Really?
Huh. I wonder what that is. I have to look that up. A church in the Czech Republic has a chandelier made entirely of human bones.
Ooh.
I want to see that.
I want that in my bedroom.
That would be really cool.
That would
I
be
want to
cool.
see that.
Yeah.
We got to go to the Czech Republic. That'll be our next Halloween.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Trip.
Please send us money because that's the only way we're going to be able to go.
Okay. Under the code of Hammurabi, bartenders who watered down beer were punished by execution.
Wow. They take their beer seriously.
Yeah. Don't water down beer. That's not cool. Our eyes are always the same size from birth, but our nose and ears never stop growing.
Oh.
Huh. Yeah, your eyes are the same eyes as you were born with. Like, they are the same size as they were when you were born.
Huh.
Your eyes never grow or shrink, or,
That seems weird. It seems like eyeballs would be too big for baby faces.
You would think so. Especially, I was watching a movie with Mila Kunis in it. Her eyes are gigantic. I mean, like Disney gigantic eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're beautiful, but yeah, I was literally thinking of this fact when I was watching them. I'm like, I wonder what she looked like when she was a baby, because they would take up half her head, I would think. Okay, during your lifetime, you will produce enough saliva to fill 2 swimming pools.
Jeez.
Ew.
That's gross.
You are 1% shorter in the evening than in the morning.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. That's weird. Maybe you grow every night and then shrink. 1% shorter in the evening than in the morning.
Or it might be because you're laying down all night, and then when you get up, as the day goes on, your body compresses.
Yeah. Very interesting. The elephant is the only mammal that can't jump.
Hippos can jump?
I guess.
Huh.
I don't know. Most dust particles in your house are made from dead skin.
Ew.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Quit scratching. I want your dead skin in my house. I want to breathe it in.
Okay, next one. These are just did you know, so like random facts. If 33 million people held hands, they could make it all the way around the equator. That's not that many, considering how many people there are on Earth.
How many people?
33 million.
Huh.
Earth is the only planet that is not named after a god. I wonder where they got the name Earth.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Interesting. The bloodhound is the only animal whose evidence is admissible in court. That is interesting.
That is.
And I love that. You are born with 300 bones, but by the time you are an adult, you only have 206.
Where do they go?
I don't know.
They fuse together or something?
Ooh, maybe. I bet they do. That's weird. A 10-gallon hat will only hold 3/4 of a gallon. Just like fingerprints, everyone has a different tongue print.
Oh, I did not know that.
I heard that about ears, too. Everyone's
Yeah,
ears
I've heard
are
about
different.
that. I've heard that about ears.
I actually heard that fingerprints aren't 100% unique, though.
Really?
Yeah, like there can be fingerprints that are
Well, that's scary.
really similar. Yeah. Okay, next one. ATMs were originally thought to be failures because the only users were prostitutes and gamblers who didn't want to deal with tellers face to face. Well, now all of us are antisocial and nobody wants to deal with tellers face to face.
No, we don't.
And I used to,
man, I gotta go to the bank.
Yeah, and I used to be a teller, and tellers don't want to deal with you either.
Oh,
Especially when you get right in their face with your bad breath. It's horrible. Horrible. Anyway, of all the words in the English language, the word set has the most definitions, and the word run comes in close second. A jiffy is the scientific name for 1/100th of a second.
Well, alrighty.
1/4 of the bones in your body are located in your feet.
Yeah.
I wonder, going back to the baby bones, I wonder if that's where most of them fuse together.
Maybe.
I wonder if you have way more bones in your feet when you're born, and then they...
I don't know.
Because they're all really, really small, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so, I'm going to skip that one because it's like just a bunch of numbers. Okay. So we don't do math.
All right.
Next one. Blue-eyed people tend to have the highest tolerance of alcohol.
Well,
Interesting.
that's why.
Exactly. That's why I'm always drunk and you're not.
Not unless I drink straight up whiskey.
I know. That's what we did last week. So if I didn't make sense last week, I'm so sorry. But we had shots. It was Thanksgiving weekend. Anyway, a traffic jam lasted for more than 10 days with cars only moving 0.6 miles a day.
Oh my gosh. 10 days. Wouldn't you run out of gas?
Absolutely. It would be a parking lot. If you sat there for 10 days with your car running, you would definitely run out of gas.
They had to have shut their car off when they weren't moving or
Like,
something.
what the hell? And what would cause a 10-day traffic jam? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And I wonder where that was, too. Mm-hmm. The tongue is the strongest muscle in the body. I thought it was the heart. Interesting. And again, these could just be sentences I'm reading. I don't know if these are true or not. Every year, more than 2,500 left-hand people are killed from using right-handed products.
Really?
You know, that's like a big thing. There are a lot of things that left-handed people can't do or are not, like, it's so much harder for them to do than right-handed people because these products are made for right-handed people.
I never thought about it before.
I know. It's kind of crazy. Okay, next one. More than 50% of people in the world have never received or made a telephone call.
Really? How many?
More than 50% of the people in the world.
Okay, so you
like,
think about people in like tribes in Africa and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, especially with the, you know, we always have our, we always have our phones on us all the time, you know, so just hearing that is really crazy.
It is.
And my last one, the cigarette lighter was invented before the match.
Really?
Apparently. It's crazy.
Huh. That's interesting.
So those are my facts for the week.
Alrighty. I did a couple different things this week. The first stories I have are children's encounters with the unknown.
Ooh.
And then the second stories I did are haunted travels. So if anyone wants to go somewhere on their vacation and they want it to be haunted,
Ooh.
these are some hotels, bed and breakfasts, inns, lodges.
Yay. That'll be fun.
That are haunted. So.
Awesome.
All right. So the first ones I'm going to do are the children's encounters with the unknown. First one is, what did baby brother see? When my little brother was a baby, maybe 9 months old, we lived with my grandma. My grandpa had just died, My mom was sitting in the living room around midnight trying to get my brother to sleep, but he wouldn't stop crying. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he stopped crying, sat straight up, and said, "Hi, Grandpa." There was no one else in the room at all. The weird thing is, he said those words so clearly, and he had never spoken before, not even to say Mom.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Ew,
that's creepy.
Creepy.
Andy Pandy comes to play. Says many UK readers between the ages of 45 and 55 will probably remember a TV show called Watch with Mother. The show was on the BBC in the 1950s and featured a string puppet named Andy Pandy, and he had a sidekick named Loopy Loo or Looby Loo. One day, my brother and sister were playing upstairs in our front bedroom. This room was about 12 feet by 12 feet and had a cupboard in the corner, which was directly over the stairs. My sister and brother, both now in their late 40s, swear to this day that Andy Pandy came out of that cupboard in the corner and spent the next hour playing with them both.
No.
This Andy Pandy, however, was about 4 feet high and had no strings attached. I have questioned both of them over the years, and still their story remains the same.
Oh my gosh. That is creepy.
Yes. This one's called Shadow People Encounters. When I was 7 years old, one weekend I planned to stay up late downstairs playing video games and then sleep on the pull-out bed. I was preparing to go to bed when, for some reason, I got the impression that something was watching me. I got scared enough to run back upstairs, and while I was running, I could see very short, no larger than 2 feet tall, and squat figures darting after me. They were very indistinct in features and appeared as nothing more than inky black silhouettes.
Oh.
Also, when my aunt was young, she was sleeping over at a friend's house at the end of the street when she said that a shadow man appeared at the foot of the bed and began to call out her friend's name. She screamed and said that it disappeared into the floor.
I have to say, I've never heard of anyone saying a shadow person talked.
Yeah, that's the first one I've read where it's actually saying something.
That is scary.
Accident premonition. My mother's family, parents and siblings, lived in Binghamton, New York. My dad was in the Navy, and my parents, my sister, and I lived in Patuxent River, Maryland. I was 6 years old at the time. Even though we lived in Maryland, I knew most of my mother's family because we would visit them quite often in Binghamton, and during the summer they all came to visit us. At the time, my cousin Mary Lou, who lived in Binghamton, was 11 years old. I got home from school one day and asked my mother why Mary Lou was crying. She didn't understand what I was talking about. I told her that I heard her crying. She was quite puzzled by my statement and had no explanation. Within a few hours, the phone rang. It was my grandmother calling to say that my cousin had been hit by a car walking home from school. About the same time I told my mother I could hear her crying. I've had a few other premonitions, but this is the one I remember most.
Oh, wow.
That I've heard a lot of stories like that.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Chanting Men in White. I was 13, and it was quite some time after my little brother had passed away. I had wanted to be with him because I thought it would be better with him than at home. One night I was sleeping in my bed, and I had felt this warm sensation. I saw this large hand come on my legs. It was so warm I had to wake up. To my surprise, there were some men standing around my bed, which was up against the wall. They were dressed in white and chanting in some language I never heard. One looked at me, and then they all did and stopped chanting. Then all in a single file, they walked out of the room. I crawled to the end of my bed and peeked out the door to the living room. There we had a dim light on. They were gone. I was a little scared and crawled under the covers and started to pray. Then my other brother asked me if I was awake. I said yes. He asked me to come to his room. I said, "No way, you come here." But I did manage to get to his room, just to find out that my brother had gone through the exact same thing as I did. We were both scared.
What the fuck?
I don't know. That's
Ooh, I don't like that.
weird.
That is creepy.
Yes, it is. The imaginary friend. When my cousin was little, she would always say that she was visited by a friend. My family thought this was an imaginary friend. One day, while looking through a photo album, my cousin saw a picture of her grandfather who had died only a few years before she was born. She had never seen this picture before. She said that the man in the picture, her grandfather, was the friend who visited her regularly. This is interesting because my grandfather adored his grandchildren, and I could envision him wanting to meet the one who was born after he died. That's all the stories I have on those.
Okay.
The next ones, these are the haunted travels. So the first few I have are haunted inns. Martha Washington Inn in Abington, Virginia. The most romantic ghost is that of the young lady named Beth that haunts room 403. Staff have seen apparitions of a woman enter the room or see her sitting near the bed and have heard faint violin music. Then there's Red Brook Inn, Old Mystic, Connecticut. Guests who have stayed in the North Room in the Crary Homestead have seen a white-haired elderly woman wrapped in a black shawl. The General Wayne Inn in Marion, Pennsylvania. A seance held in 1972 revealed many ghosts still wandering around the inn. The most witnessed ghost is that of a Hessian soldier, one of a group of German soldiers hired by the British in the Revolutionary War. He is seen most often in the basement, but has been spotted in other areas as well. And then there's the Grace Hall in Selma, Alabama. Guests have seen a woman in a long white dress with a little black dog. It seems the ghost of Ms. Eliza, the lady of the house in the late 19th century.
That's creepy. I don't know if I'd want to stay in a haunted hotel.
I don't know if I would or not. I think I would like to, but I wouldn't plan on going to sleep.
Exactly.
I don't think I could sleep in one.
No, I don't think I could either. I think you're right. I think if I knew what was happening and I went there because it was haunted,
yes,
that would be different than trying to stay at a hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they saw shit. Like, I couldn't do it. I would just be too scared. I would just be like,
Of course, I never see anything, so I probably wouldn't bother me at all.
But you just never know.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a first time for everything.
The thought of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, my next ones are Haunted Bed and Breakfasts. Thayer's Historic Bed and Breakfast in Annandale, Minnesota. A number of other guests from the other side visit on a regular basis. The Notchland Inn, Hart's Location, New Hampshire. Guests tell about encounters with spirits. One couple took a nap in mid-afternoon, and when they awoke, the name Abigail was written in the steam on the mirror in their bathroom. But no one had taken a shower or bath in that room for several hours.
No! That's creepy.
That is.
Oh my gosh.
That's in New Hampshire, people. The Notchland Inn. The next one is the Inn at Meriden, Union, South Carolina. We have 10 spirits, energy forces, or ghosts that share Meriden with us. We have a history of unusual happenings and occasional sightings, and our cat talks to someone fairly frequently. Thornwood Castle, Lakewood, Washington. Chester Thorne was the builder of Thornwood Castle, and he has made appearances to several people over the years. Some guests have seen Anna, Chester's wife, sitting in the window seat of her room overlooking the garden. I'm assuming these are just hotels. It says all stays.
Oh.
I've never heard that term before.
No.
But I don't know. Mont Vista Hotel in Flagstaff, Arizona. One of the ghosts residing here is that of a phantom bellboy who knocks on doors and then vanishes. And that, isn't that pranks like little kids play on people in their neighborhood?
Yeah, totally. That's,
What's it called? It's called something.
I keep thinking Dine and Dash.
I know, me too.
That's not it.
They ring your doorbell or knock on your door and then run away.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Funny.
This annoying phantom has been experienced by dozens of guests over the years, and he is joined by the ghost of a woman who has been seen outside of the Zane Grey suite, and another man who endlessly paces in one of the rooms.
Oh, gosh. That's awful.
Hotel Jerome in Aspen, Colorado. Ever find a lost, shivering, and soaking wet boy in your hotel room? Well, you might at the Hotel Jerome. A woman recently found just that in room 310 of the Hotel Jerome. When a staff member arrived to help, the boy had vanished, leaving only wet footprints.
Ooh, my God. I wonder if there was a pool. Why was he soaking wet?
I don't know. Most hotels have pools, though, I think.
Yeah.
The Inn at 835, Springfield, Illinois. Stories seem to indicate that the spirit of Belle Miller is still in residence. One resident noted hearing a warm and friendly voice saying, "Well, hello there." No, are you okay?
I just wasn't expecting that to make noise.
No.
It did.
No one was around. Another event included a single book being placed in the middle of the room multiple times. Each time it was moved from a tightly packed shelf where it would not have fallen from and landed in the middle of the room.
Huh.
Hotel Maison de Ville, New Orleans, Louisiana. A 23-year-old employee of the hotel first encountered a ghost around 20 years ago while she was letting a guest into cottage number 4. She and the guest entered the room and saw a man dressed in military uniform. She felt a chill, shook a bit, and then the apparition disappeared. Grove Park Inn Resort in Asheville, North Carolina. A mysterious pink lady has been seen, felt, and experienced by hotel employees and guests at the Grove Park Inn Resort in Asheville for more than 3/4 of a century. Brass Lantern Inn, Stowe, Vermont. The guests at the Brass Lantern Inn have a similar story to tell. They may hear some people arrive late in the night, speaking loud and talking about the good time they just had, possibly at a party. In all cases, it is referenced to the same room. The next ones are, it says Haunted Lodging Adventures. I don't know what that means. Johnstone's Inn in Ashland, Massachusetts. The apparition of a 10-year-old girl is often reported staring out a window in a storage room near the kitchen, and an invisible intruder likes to put his hands around the necks of customers in the dining room.
Oh my God.
I need to go there, and then I won't eat as much, so I'll lose.
You just eat there every night and wait for someone to choke you.
It would work.
If he's too scared to eat, that's no way to lose weight.
Oh. Okay. Bullock Hotel, Deadwood, South Dakota. The ghost of Deadwood's first sheriff, Seth Bullock, walks the halls of the hotel he founded. Over 30 people have seen his ghost.
Wow. I want to see a ghost.
I've never seen a ghost. You know, though, there are so many people that have, when they describe a ghost, they say it's like just looking at a person.
Yeah,
so it's like, okay, how many ghosts have I actually seen?
Yeah.
And just not known that they're ghosts.
Yeah. It's probably hundreds.
I know. Historic Sheridan Inn in Sheridan, Wyoming. This inn is said to be haunted by the spirit of Miss Kate Arnold, a housekeeper who lived here for 65 years. The ghost of Miss Kate is felt most strongly in her former room on the 3rd floor, near the front downstairs windows, or in the ballroom. Sometimes she's detected as a moving cold spot. At other times, only her soft footsteps are heard.
It's so sad when I hear about ghosts doing their job.
Oh, I know.
That is just awful. I hope to God I am not sitting at a fucking desk when I die.
There are some people that actually enjoy their job.
I enjoy my job, but I don't want to. That's not. No. That's not how I want to spend my afterlife.
No.
Fuck that.
Crescent Hotel, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Did I do a story about this?
Yes,
Yeah,
and I think
I
you were
did.
extremely drunk at the time, so you probably
was
don't.
that the tray of butter?
I think it was. And the moon spoon.
You get to hear it again. A number of rooms are haunted in this historic hotel. Room 218 is the spot where Michael, an Irish stonemason, landed when he fell from the hotel's roof during construction. Are you done?
No.
His ghost is said to bang on the walls and turn the lights and television on and off. Rooms 202 and 424 are also said to be haunted.
At least we haven't heard any like duplicate room numbers, because that would be creepy. If like room 202 in every hotel was haunted.
Oh yeah,
that would be weird.
That would be. Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood, California. The hotel was a focal point for the movie business in the 1920s and 1930s. Asked for room 928, where Montgomery Clift stayed during the making of From Here to Eternity. Rumor has it you can still hear Montgomery Clift play his bugle. Hotel San Carlos in Phoenix, Arizona. In 1928, Leon Jensen went to the roof of the hotel dressed in an evening gown. I don't think I said her name right. Leon?
I would think Leon. If it's a woman,
Yeah.
Leon
Jensen. Mm-hmm. Said to be brokenhearted over the lost love of a local bellboy. She jumped from the roof to her death. Since that night, guests have reported odd breezes, ghostly noises, and the pale shadow of a woman floating in the air.
Oh my gosh.
Stanley Hotel. I think everyone knows that one.
Of course.
Estes Park, Colorado. If you are a Stephen King fan, request room 217. It was in this room that King, inspired by the hotel, wrote half of The Shining. The ABC miniseries was filmed here as well. The ghosts in this hotel aren't evil as in the book. Room 418 seems to have the most ghostly activity reported. In fact, the entire fourth floor, formerly the servants' quarters, is quite active. I don't know what a 4 is.
The 4-4.
The fourth floor.
So this week, I just have kind of creepy things that have happened to people. So it's kind of random. But we have to put ourselves in those people's shoes because some of these you're like, eh. And if you actually were there, it'd be pretty freaking creepy.
Okay.
So, years ago around Halloween, my family had gathered to watch scary movies. My mom loved these shows. My dad didn't care for them much, so he would get up every few minutes and work on some other things. We had started watching Hitchcock's The Birds.
I love that movie.
Me too. It's awesome. And it was getting late and the house was getting cold. At first, my mom just asked my dad to turn up the thermostat, but after a couple of minutes, the furnace was running and the house was not warming up. He realized he would need to go check the furnace and headed downstairs. A minute later, we hear him shout for us, "You have to come see this." We get down there to see him shining a flashlight into the furnace when we saw the reason the pilot light was out. A dead bird.
Ew.
It looked like maybe a sparrow had flown into the furnace from outside and put the flame out.
Oh my god.
That would be creepy, you know what I mean?
Yes,
I mean,
it
it's
would.
not,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. If they weren't watching that movie.
Exactly. Okay, next one. I grew up in a forestry cottage miles away from any town, and we often got toads and birds and other woodland creatures in our house out of the blue. I was 7 at the time and suffered from night terrors. My parents often found me about the house at night speaking nonsense or screaming. Must have freaked them out to no end. For a few nights, I had been shouting at my parents, convinced there was something in my bed. I couldn't sleep because of it, but obviously my parents just put it down to nightmares. I kept saying something was shaking in my bed and scratching me, and they took all my blankets and toys out to show me there was nothing there, but I was still convinced. I was an odd child, so people often thought I was making things up. Turns out a bat had flown under the duvet cover, and I opened it up one night and the thing flew out. My parents ran in and turned the light on to find this bat flying around my room. Sometimes I'm still woken up by the feeling that there is a bat in my blanket.
Ew.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Don't you think they would have done a little bit more research? But I guess, because bats, hide really well.
Yeah, they do.
That's scary.
And bats
if you were
are very
7,
unsanitary.
Yeah.
Too.
Ugh. Okay. My great aunt died in August of 2012. 6 months later, in February, my cousin was playing in a hockey tournament. Excuse me. He was extremely close to our aunt and was pretty devastated by the loss. His team was never that good. However, in this particular tournament, they were doing very well. So well that they made it into the finals. They lost, but that was where fate comes into play. All of the runner-up trophies were wrapped in newspaper. My cousin pulled out a trophy in the box, and the single piece of newspaper wrapped around was my aunt's obituary from 6 months earlier.
Aww.
So, she came and visited. It was winter break my freshman year of college. I drove up to visit one of my friends in northeastern Pennsylvania for New Year's. I needed to be back home the next day for work, so I decided to drive back at 2 a.m. I was driving down Interstate 79, and I maybe saw 2 cars in the 60-mile span. I came up around a bend and saw what looked like a black bear in my lane, and I swerved and went off the road and crashed into a tree line next to the highway. I was in the middle of nowhere, and the bear just booked it into the woods. My car was fucking totaled, and I knew I wasn't going to see any cars for hours to help me out. I called 911 and they said that they would come in 20 minutes. I got out of the car and stood up on the shoulder of the highway and waited. After about 5 minutes, I heard some rustling in the bushes, and there it was, the fucking bear.
Yeah.
Turns out when I went off the road, I hit a cub, and the mama bear was pissed as all hell. I booked it over to the back of the car and hopped into the trunk. Thank God I had a big Ford Expedition, so the bear couldn't fuck with it too much. For another half hour, the bear tried ramming the car and was trying to get at me in a frenzy. The police showed up with the sirens and scared the mama bear off into the woods again. It was the most terrifying experience of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen The Revenant?
No.
With Leonardo DiCaprio?
I haven't seen that, no.
That bear scene. You listen to The Dollop, right? Every now and then.
Yeah.
If you guys don't listen to The Dollop, it's really good. It's you have to go in spurts of it. At least I do, because it's history, and you know.
Yeah. No, we don't do that either.
Right. But the story is about Hugh Glass, and he actually got attacked by a bear, and that scene in that movie is just Tyrion cried.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got her to watch. I mean, she was watching it and she started crying. It's horrible. It's not good. So yeah, a bear attacking someone is scary as fuck. Okay, so my next one, working as a 911 dispatcher, I got a call from a house. Called it back when it was disconnected. This is actually fairly common and happened whenever it rained. The backstory on this house is that it was vacant and used to have an active landline. The theory was that the water was somehow getting into the phone system to the house and was setting off false alarms. Well, we got one, and I thought about just saying fuck it, but I stuck to protocol and sent an officer. The vacant house had just caught on fire the day after a rainstorm, never found a witness, and the house was saved. So the house called 911 on itself because it was on fire.
Like, please come help me.
Okay, next one. I woke up to a rat eating my cousin's eyebrows while sharing a bed.
Oh my God. How does someone not know there's a rat on their face eating their eyebrows?
I don't know. That is
I would never sleep
worst.
that deep
no.
that I wouldn't know there's a rat on my face eating my eyebrows.
Anything on your face. I mean, unless it's a really tiny bug or something.
Yeah, but
a rat? I
yeah,
mean,
that's
come on, people.
It's like, you got something right here.
Oh my God. Stop. You know, every episode I have to cut out like 10 minutes of laughing. Oh, a deep breath. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. How do you not know there's a rat on your face? I know the best thing is to be like, excuse me, something right here. Oh my fucking God, I can't. Okay. Oh, I'm crying. I'm like crying, actually crying. Okay. Okay, next one. A few days ago, my iPhone would not accept my fingerprint for Touch ID. Any of my fingerprints. My dog stayed on the other side of the apartment from me and wouldn't take any treats from me. I trained him not to take treats from anyone except me to avoid poisoning or illness. Paranoid much?
Yeah.
But he wouldn't even take his favorite treat from me or cuddle with me. When I went to hug him, he hid in his kennel. My PIN didn't work for my debit card, so I wound up running it as credit. I used the same PIN for everything. The only websites that I could get into were Reddit, Gmail, and Amazon pages where my password was stored. Any website where I had entered a username or password, it came back as incorrect. Thank God there's no password to wake my computer up, or I wouldn't have been able to do any work that day. The next day, everything went back to normal.
I've actually heard that story before.
Really?
I don't know. I don't remember where, but
That's
yeah,
weird.
I've heard that before.
wonder if it's like an urban legend or something.
I don't know.
But like having someone else's identity for the day where nothing works. That is scary because that's exactly what could happen with all the technology.
Oh yeah.
Today.
Yeah. If all of a sudden our technology didn't work for some reason,
We would be
we'd
fucked.
screwed.
We would. Like nobody would have any money.
No.
Nobody would have any identity. It would be insanity.
Mm-hmm. It sure would.
Okay, next one. All of the alarms in my house went off at exactly midnight. Then later on that night, all of my phones in my house rung exactly at 3 a.m. I watched The Babadook and the day before with my girlfriend, and needless to say,
I thought you weren't going to drink that much tonight.
I said I wasn't going to take shots.
Oh, okay.
This is my Friday night.
Okay.
Man. It's the only time I drink. I'm sorry.
Well,
Actually, I'm not
it
sorry,
doesn't
but-
mix with reading very well.
But needless to say... Okay, I ruined that story. Okay, moving on. I once woke up with the outline of a handprint on my chest. I measured it, and it was too small for my hand and too large for my wife's hand.
What?
So
Why would you measure it? Why?
how is there an outline?
Is it like a red outline or?
I don't know. And why would you measure it? I mean,
Why would you even notice it?
why would you have a measure next to your bed? What are you measuring other than random handprints on your chest?
I'm sure there's something.
Okay, next one. I lived in an apartment a few years ago. 4 units upstairs and 4 units downstairs. I lived upstairs, and the apartment below me was vacant. I kept hearing footsteps throughout the apartment, and I knew I shouldn't have. Nobody was downstairs, and I asked someone to come over and listen just to see if I was crazy. Maybe I'm just hearing other apartments since it was empty downstairs and everything was echoing. Wrong. I kept hearing the footsteps. This went on for a solid hour. Finally, I called the landlord and the police. Apparently, someone had broken in through the window downstairs and was walking back and forth through the apartment with a knife. Fucking horrifying. What the fuck?
What?
Oh my god. That is too close for comfort.
Just walking around? with a
Apparently,
knife?
it said for a solid hour they just heard footsteps.
That's creepy.
That is creepy. I drove past a car on my way to class in college. I was always taking back roads to avoid traffic, so it was a bit odd to have a car parked on the side of the road. When I came back from class, it was still there. I drove by a bit more slowly and saw what I thought was someone sleeping in there. I thought that it was odder still, but maybe someone was traveling and decided to pull off and take a rest and just fall asleep longer than they planned. Nope, the next morning I read in the paper that a wife killed her husband and dumped his body and the car on that back road.
Oh.
Holy shit.
They saw a dead body.
Oh my god. I would die. Okay, next one. We moved into a new house a few months ago. As we were in the process of purchasing the house, the renter who was living in it died unexpectedly of natural causes in his mid-40s. Shortly after we moved into the house, and almost immediately, our 2-year-old daughter starts talking about the ghost that lives there. She's 2, and 2-year-olds are very impressionable. Halloween had recently just passed, and she had a Halloween-themed picture book that she loved to read, so it's entirely possible that all this talk of ghosts was just coming from looking through that book on a regular basis. Still, she was always telling me that the ghost was in her playhouse in the basement, or the ghost was on the stairs, or the ghost was standing in the corner. She never seemed to be afraid of the ghost and considered him to be her friend, so I wasn't all that concerned even if there really was a ghost haunting our house. If he's a nice and helpful ghost, it could certainly be worse. I was about 30-70 on the ghost being real, and she could see and talk to him versus the ghost being just her imagination, fueled by her Halloween book. Until one day when we were going out to the car to go to daycare in the morning, it was still dark out and rainy. My daughter told me that the ghost was on the back deck, and then she told me that that today was the ghost's birthday and she wanted to sing him happy birthday. Once again, I mostly discarded what she was saying as she is birthday obsessed and has in the past made us sing happy birthday to Mickey Mouse, a bowl of fruit snacks, and the bathroom. So we sang and wished the ghost a happy birthday and went on with our lives. Later that day, out of pure curiosity, I looked up the obituary of the man who had died in our house, and wouldn't you know it, it was his fucking birthday.
Oh, I just got
my
chills.
God, I know, oh my God. 2-year-olds, man, what are you gonna do? Okay, next one. My bedroom is on the second floor of the house. There's no patio, porch, or hangover of any kind beneath my windows. A couple of years ago, I was watching TV in bed around 2 a.m. and I heard a louder than usual animal sound. Not uncommon to hear squirrels running around on the roof from time to time. Didn't think anything of it. Kept on happening and started to sound awfully close to the window and not on the roof. I ignored it for a pretty long time, and after at least 40 to 45 minutes of being irritated by the noise, I banged on the wall in hopes of scaring them off until I could get to sleep. Just 2 quick bangs on the wall with my fist, which were answered by 2 bangs on the wall right next to the window from outside.
Oh my gosh.
Needless to say, I about shit and jumped out of bed. My living room has a bay window and is on the other side of the house, so I could look out that window to see the side and see my bedroom window. I hustled downstairs to peek out, and I see a guy standing in front of my house below my bedroom window. He's got a knife, a small pocket knife in his hand, and he is petting the front of my house.
Oh my God.
I call the police and wait. He never leaves the front of my house, even when they roll up and ultimately disarm him and arrest him without much struggle.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. So that was my last story.
People are crazy.
I know. Why was he petting the house?
No.
Did you think it was a cat? Do you think it was Clifford?
You need to go home and go to bed.
I do not need to go home and go to bed. Thank you for your concern.
You need to listen to the Witty Wrap Up.
Yay!
These are horrible blind date stories.
Fuck yes, girl. I love it.
I know. Okay. When I first moved to New York, I was set up on a blind date with a Wall Street type. You know, the pinstripe wearing, briefcase toting, scotch and soda drinking charmer.
Workaholic?
The date went fairly flawlessly until he invited me back to his place after informing me that he was wearing an adult diaper and liked to be spanked.
No!
I tried my hardest not to react. A few minutes later, I excused myself to the restroom and ran to the closest train station.
Oh my God!
That's disgusting.
No, like on the first date, you just meet this person, and oh, by the way,
I know people have their fetishes or whatever,
Sure.
but I don't get the diaper thing. I don't.
I mean, I don't get it either, but ew. I'm not even gonna deal with it. I don't know. No. You know, one of my friends used to date on, what is it, Tinder?
Tinder, yeah.
All the time, and you know, everyone just wants to fuck.
Yes,
on that thing.
exactly. Yeah.
So she went out with this guy, and I think they went out to dinner, and you know, he's like totally normal guy.
Uh-huh.
And then they went back to his house, and he asked her to put on her highest pair of high heels and kick him in the balls. What? Yes. That was his thing. He wanted her to do that. And she just was like, no, thank you, goodbye.
Why?
So every time she's like, you won't believe what happened. I'm like, did he ask you to kick him in the balls?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh my
You
God.
know, me and my friend at work were talking about this kind of stuff today. And, you know, she told me some of her horror stories. And, you know, I kind of feel bad for these people because they can't help what they like,
Yeah.
you know. But it's still...
Okay, and you know, that's great.
Why would you ask it on a first date?
Exactly. That's the problem that I have with this. Why on the first fucking... Why do you think that's okay?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah.
You keep that at least until the third date. I mean, you need to talk to these people before you're like, by the way, I love to piss my pants and be spanked. Like, no, that's not, no.
My friend set me up with a guy who was really into improv. Since I'd taken an improv class in college, we started talking about it. When I mentioned I'm not that great at it, he insisted that we play an improv game for 30 minutes.
Fuck that.
In one scene, he even wanted me to pretend to be his mom. Never again.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
I don't know.
Your mom? And that goes along with the baby thing. It's like a mom thing. Maybe their moms didn't hug them.
I don't know, but
Oh, that's terrible.
in college, I was set up on a blind date. The guy had a lot of energy, to say the least. After a group dinner, we were headed to a party, and he started being a punk to a car next to us. The driver in that car then shot the back window in our car. Date over.
Whoa. Dude, chill the fuck out. Do you remember telling me, okay, Indianapolis, East Washington Street,
Yes.
Strawberry Hill,
Yes.
next to Movies 8.
Yes.
You worked there, and you used to drive that strip.
Yes.
Remember telling me that a guy threw a lit cigarette butt in the back of your brand new car?
I was so pissed. Oh my God.
I don't know why I remember that.
We were driving down Washington Street. Me and one of my friends. I just bought my car. It was, it was used, but it was new.
Yeah, I mean, you were what, like 16, 17, brand new, like
No,
your
at
first
this
car?
point, no, it wasn't my first car.
Oh.
It was my first car that I bought myself as an adult.
Oh,
like
okay.
with a loan and everything.
So yeah, that's a big fucking deal.
Yes, and it was summer, so we were driving with the windows down, and I was probably 19. No, I was 18, and we stopped at the stoplight, and a car full of teenage guys stops next to us.
Yeah.
And they're all hooting and hollering, and
Yeah.
I guess they thought they were going to be slick or something. They flick their cigarette right through my driver's side window into my car.
Through your driver's side window?
Yes.
So like right past your face?
Yes.
Oh no. I thought it was your back window.
No.
Oh my
I
god.
lost when it takes me a lot. It takes a lot to get me mad.
Yeah, you're very
when I
very
do-
laid back. Yes.
When I do, you better step the fuck back. I got immediately pissed off.
Yeah, that's a fucking lit cigarette.
They're over there laughing. Oh, it's so funny.
Fuck you.
I immediately, when the light turned green, I was in the lane next to them. They they go and they turn left. I immediately turned left, follow them into the Denny's parking lot, get out of my car because I'm going to beat every one of their asses. They take one look at me, get back in their car, and drive away.
Oh my god.
I can only imagine what my face looked like. I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was ready to kick all of their asses.
Yeah. That's bullshit. I don't know why I remember you telling me that, but I do. I remember you telling me
I
that.
don't know. I've never been so mad in my life.
Yeah, fuck them.
Oh, I was... And of course, after the fact, I start cracking up.
Well, yeah,
because a
because
car full of guys get in their car and run away.
Well, yeah.
I'm like 5'4".
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, 100 pounds. It's like, I thought I was mad, but it was also funny at the same time.
Yeah. That's funny. That just reminded me of that.
Okay, my worst date was in college. Blind date set up by friends in parentheses. I say friends in parentheses because I suspected how much they actually liked me after that. This guy walks into the restaurant and launches into telling me about his schizophrenic mother, his traumatic home life, and the denture plate of his now dead father, which he carries around in his pocket for luck.
Oh
Yes,
my fucking God.
he did take it out and show it to me. I guess he thought it brought him loads of luck because then he added, "Nice boobs, by the way."
No!
I got up and left.
Yeah, I would definitely question my quote-unquote friends
Yeah.
at that point.
Seriously.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is horrible. Oh my God.
All right. I had a friend in college. These all seem to start with college for some
And I
reason.
had a friend.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I had a friend in college that thought it'd be funny to hook me up with a blind date with a girl. He assured me Terry and I would hit it off. When I got to the door, I realized it was a prank as the poor girl smiled up at me. I decided not to spoil the evening by telling her my friend was a moron, so I took her out to dinner and then a bar. She was actually okay. The real horror started when I walked her to her doorstep. She invited me in, which I refused. She told me that I was handsome and a gentleman, and she wanted to show how grateful she was I took her out. I didn't want to insult her or have her think I didn't like her and it was her fault. I told her I was sorry, but I'm gay.
Oh my
Before I could explain to her the situation, she got angry and asked me why I was wasting her time. She kicked me in the nuts and slammed the door in my face.
God.
That's another friends in parentheses.
Yeah, and psycho bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What is wrong with people?
About 10 minutes into a blind date, the guy whipped out a book about Walmart and started telling me that it changed his life and that Sam Walton was his god.
No.
I nodded along, asked questions, and told myself that maybe I would learn something interesting about Sam Walton.
No.
But I could tell there was something off about this dude. Moments later, he proceeded to go on a seemingly unrelated tangent about everyone in the world has their price. He told me I had a price. When I asked him what he meant by that, he pointed at a woman sitting at the bar and said, "That girl has a price. I could get her to go home with me right now if I offered her enough money. Same with you." After picking up my jaw from the floor, I said a few choice words and left. Total creepazoid. Okay,
What the
you should have
fuck?
left when the word Walmart came out of his mouth.
And God in the same
Exactly.
sentence. Yeah. Oh my God. What a moron. God, what is wrong with people?
Though we had really hit it off on the phone, when we met in person, my blind date looked nothing like he said he did, and spent an entire date talking about how unattractive he is and how women constantly reject him, asking me if I thought he was ugly. I cut the date short, declined a second date, and thought I was in the clear when I didn't hear from him for a couple of days. Then I got an email from him, not a single word, just a photo of his penis.
Nice.
That's what every girl wants.
Oh my God, I know.
They're so attractive.
It is one of the prettiest pictures you can imagine. So beautiful. Oh my fucking God. And might I say, even if you have to fake it, confidence goes a long way. But don't send dick pics. Nobody
We
wants
don't
to
want
see
to
that.
see that.
Nobody wants to see.
Especially like, say you're at work and you open up your email.
No.
Or your text.
No.
That's not.
No.
I don't know what word I'm looking for.
It's not appropriate. And it's not. Nobody wants to see that.
No.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody.
Hey.
What is wrong with the people?
How many times have we said that?
See, I named an episode that.
Did you?
I did. What is fucking wrong with people? Because what is wrong with people?
It's no wonder we don't want to leave our house.
Seriously. Oh my God.
I once had a blind date show up to pick me up 2 hours late. I had already figured he was standing me up, so I got into my pajamas and was watching a movie in bed.
Yeah.
When he showed up drunk at my door, I was pretty annoyed, to say the least. He was barely apologetic, saying he was out with friends drinking and had lost track of time.
Bye.
Which didn't exactly qualify as a good reason, in my opinion. He even had the gall to suggest we begin our date right then and there, since you are already in bed, and that's probably where we'll end up anyway. No thanks.
Go fuck yourself.
Seriously.
Oh my God. Punch him in the face and shut the door.
That's the one that deserves a kick in the nuts.
Seriously.
After several months of being depressed after a bad breakup, a friend decided to set me up with a friend, in quotes, that she had known for quite some time.
What the fuck?
I went out with this guy who was a bit older than my friend and I, so I became suspicious that something was off. As the date progressed, he brings up the fact that he normally doesn't meet girls like me online. To that point, I was dumbfounded because I have never used an online dating site, and my friend said she was setting me up with a real-life friend.
Oh, no.
He then later told me he found my date request on the romance section of Craigslist. My friend threw me out to the wolves on Craigslist.
What is wrong
I
with
was
people?
so mad and embarrassed that I got up and left.
Oh my God. You know what? That crosses a fucking line.
Yes, Craigslist?
Seriously.
Could have been a serial killer.
Absolutely. That's literally saying, hey, I'm going to play Russian roulette with your life.
Exactly.
Oh my God. What is wrong with people?
This is my last one. Right before I met my husband, I was set up on a blind date through a friend. I should have run in the other direction when he showed up and mentioned that my shirt was a little tight. He preferred his women.
You.
He preferred his women modest.
Oh my God, no.
Out of guilt, I tortured myself through a dinner comprised of greasy food and conversation, which included him asking me if I had been with a lot of men.
None of your business, dude.
After he so graciously paid the $10 bill, he asked if I would buy the cocktails. I took out some cash and prayed to all things holy to let the nightmare end. Walking back to my condo, it started raining. He grabbed my hand and tried to make a romantic moment out of it. Dramatic Hollywood kiss, face and all.
No.
I swiftly placed my hand between his face and mine and reminded him he liked his women modest. Some men, clueless.
Fuck yes, girl. That is awesome. Thank God.
And that, people, is why I don't date.
Yes. That's why thank God that I never have to go through anything like that. And I never will. No. Online dating and shit.
No, I can't do it.
No.
I can't do it. No.
It's not made for people with social anxiety.
No.
Okay, thank you guys so much for listening. We really, really appreciate it. We want to hear your stories.
Please send us your stories.
We don't even care. We don't care what it is.
No.
Just send it. Just send it. If you have a horror story from a date, we want to hear it. Anything for the witty wrap up. If you have been to one of the places that Jody talked about, we want to know if you saw anything or if you didn't. We don't care. Email us. Just say hi. It's all good. Ghoulsnightoutpodcast@gmail.com, and we will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.